Abuapa no sia ho adehima ma me mamu nyina chi ema mu akwaba XTV so ni emra sonsen sem akoso ye mamu ni amahudo sonsem na otwewie ya ye saka ya boabo ni nyansa no pa no sia kase ye de ebro sem ni de edoso papa yi ne di makote bia wo bete eni se cocoa board any stakeholders ahodo etimi akwakotena se wo mu ye hyehe pa se na be ya wo mu betimi aye beverage bia no eye cocoa beverage bi e de ama ye sukufo na wo mu esua ade no na e won sem foforo mo so da no se Wamania se Bank of Ghana and afens no post sadom no bom humodin ego pie mu awon kramponi mante bia ya amafo sanska womo eye monte so sanske aye from black market no yakwakwachi womo na so pani bi chemu se sanhyehe enya no ene be ma yesidi no etimi enya ahoden na otwewie yenso be dwumedie bi akoso awon kramponi mante mu eye Global Citizen Festival na Ghana mampeni na nadodan kwakofo adoko pie mu wo honom iye ese wani nsese ye ka show adihye wo honom no suhu se na omu huro na womu mpese wo beka sakura e wodwumedi na ase a womu ye ne kpa awe ehun nsem ne nyina ekakasebo ehu a ye de ebro nsem ne de edoso na poso na medi ama wo no ka me ho fiti semra kopem sesima edunu no bebo apa no nsia wo de opeti de opahwe no enukutu na medi ebro obapa me bisa kosu ate enmidi afejibre na me fa kasebo edi wo mankasa emfama sa obepie mu ewo omega na mu aye ade baako a ekwadwuma baako a eboa ye ede sika bebre etima oman no esanso ejane nanso biom eye koko na wohwe wiase nyina aman ahodo a ombom homodin papa ewo koko ho a oyi Africos ede tu nchen a Ghana ene yetoso mienu nanso eyare hosem esesa obepie mu ewo man yankasa yeboye homodin ede koko kopie mu aman ahodo so no se ba ne panse koko aduane yendino ewo man Ghana mu na enomo ena koko eye koko board fo omo kiremu se sa o hawi akwakwo ye o hawi person se koko no emu aduane ahodo bi ewo ma yedi a ebetimi ama ya hoodin papa wo mo hyase edi nkyerɛkyerɛ edi magana fo nema ehu akwakwo hia de enti ehu akwakwo hia se obi biara entimi endi koko aduane na sa dwumedi na omo de ehyehyɛ so no etimi buaye na ekane na nipa dodo omo timi edi no eye 0.5 na so se no etimi ehura kwa akodu eye 0.6 a udi ko ohom chichemu a eye ohom chichemu aduno nipa wakasa edima Ghana cocoa board eye opani fifi buafo wo kyerem se we eye na mo ahodo a wo mu etu ye etimi ebuaye na wo kyerem se obi biara edi ne ho hyemu bia anka betimi aboaye.
Consumption has been good. I think when we started this, our per capita consumption as a country was 0.5. It has actually moved to 0.6. That is 20% increase. It's still very low, but that's 20%, quite significant. It's an indication that when we continue driving this, we'll surely be able to achieve something significant. It behoves on us to join and then drive this campaign to achieve the results. Consumption has been good. I think when we started this, our per capita consumption as a country was 0.5.
Sa koko ho aduane o kai pass afimpimie ni dunson no mo Ghana mampeni na adodan kwakofo ado ehye Ghana fo nyina bosses wo beye mampeni a wo behwe se ye mana wo mo ekosku na no pe bia no ye beye koko drink bi e de ama wo mo a ye de be serve wo me bi wo kra ye de chocolate bar na nkasa ene be ma mo na so fiti afimpimie ni dunson no mo e be pem nam no ye twen se sa nhihia na be sa bohye na Ghana mampeni edi hyeye no ebetimi abemu neno eno pani fifi buafo ekyiremu se sanka sanhyehyɛ no ebemu anka ebetimi aboaye manipadodo a womo edi koko aduane no ebetimi akoso nanso womo koko board nso womo ye de ombetimi bia se womo ne stakeholders ahodo a womo ewo omega no womo ni womo etwetwe nkomo kwan pom befa so se na be ya se aban na etimi anya kora na womo ankasa ebetimi ahyase aye drinks bi dia masukufo no na manipadodo a yetimi edi koko Ghana no etimi akweni.
When the initiative was announced, it faced very stiff opposition, and there was a need for management and the board to have a rethink of the policy, considering the kind of reaction it was greeted. We as Cocoa Board are still committed when we believe that in order to inculcate the habit of consuming cocoa products, there's a need for us to start from the basic level. But of course, you are dealing with stakeholders, and you cannot just say that you are initiating a process and you are organizing a program where experienced some resistance and they just brush it aside. No. So we are taking it on board, fine-tune it such that when it is implemented, it takes the concerns of everybody along, and then we are able to drive it. When the initiative was announced, it faced very stiff opposition, and there was a need for management and the board to have a rethink of the policy, considering the kind of reaction it was greeted. We as Cocoa Board are still committed when we believe that in order to inculcate the habit of consuming cocoa products.
Bank of Ghana and offense no police for no bom homodin epiem won kampuni mantiemu bia yahodwa oni na mana amanfo esuso watade mo wo pese osisa scan na le se womo kita dollar womo esisa se wo kita dollar ne bia na masesa edi ama se sidi ne bia na se womo aton edi ama wo no san crofoi e no mo chiremo se kwan yahodo aban ne pese wo fa se na be ye sidi no betimi anya hoden na ye de esi akan ewo amahodo womo eye sidi anapese womo sikanimu a ebetimi anya hoden ne du womo so nkunim no ene se black market no betimi eyi sankrofo nyina edi efri ho wo mko wie no nipa beye eduson ne ekiri ene yetimi echi wo mo ne no ena santrofo ya hwase ebisa wona eba no eyesikasem wo mu mu dipa sa nhehye sa na mo betimi aboa ye se oman me yesidi no esanso enya hode bi mu ana Professor Lord Kwaku Mensah was self-motivated, was also a team player and hard-working associate professor at the Department of Finance, University of Ghana Business School. Edi ababetu jase sa na moya Bank of Ghana etu yere won dey osu say enya no na bema yesidi no etimi enya ahodi ewom say ya na mopade na so enya no na bema yesidi no etimi enya ahodi de wo say yehwe ene say sankrofo ya womo $1 na womo di esesa no ehifa ena omunya edi free ye wo say ye kwohwehwe honom na yenhwe say ye beyi ohaw no ye beyi di efri honom ansa na mpo etimi aba wona womo ton no eso
exercise from my end I think will not make that much of impact as far as the control of the depreciation of the cedi is concerned. Now let's look at what makes the black market and the composition of the black market clearly. I mean, when we talk about black market, it is an underground, market, i.e., which forms part of the, the underground economy. It is difficult to identify them. It is difficult to measure the economic activities, and therefore you cannot easily manage. Now, the kind of soup that Bank of Ghana did with the police, clearly, is going to give the black market relocation. So they went to TikTok Lane. Because you cannot identify them, they can disintegrate and still operate. If they come together to form a cluster, that is when you can easily identify them and say, I'm going to get them here. But what about being in their houses and then taking transactions on their phones? How would you identify them? For me, the question has to do with how does the black market get $1? Because if you look at, in terms of, if you split the market into two, the formal market and then the black market, the market that can easily have access to the dollar is the formal market. But the question is, how does the black market get the dollar? And for the fact that the black market is getting the dollar through scarce means, they put up certain premium, which makes it different from what the formal market is offering. So effectively, we should, for the police to go straight to the black market, they should, the Bank of Ghana to go straight to the black market, they should assess themselves, run through all the banks, and see how does the money or the dollar filter to the black market for transaction to go on there. If the black market has no dollar, and it turns out that there's demand, they cannot meet that demand, there won't be market. So effectively, there is a supply and demand activities going on in that black market. So I would say that instead of going on the street chasing something that you cannot easily, catch. I mean, 70 in Accra. Have you been to Kumasi, Alaba? Have you been to other places that, the dollar is being used as foreign market is going on in a black space. No, you can't go around, getting all this black market that exists. In the worst case, they're going to disintegrate, be in their homes. At the end of the day, take phone calls and meet at a place and then exchange, transactions. An exercise from my end, I think, will not make that much of impact as far as the control of the depreciation of the cedi is concerned. Now, let's look at what makes the black market and the composition of the black market clearly. When we talk about black market, it is an underground, market, i.e., which forms part of the underground economy. It is difficult to identify them. It is difficult to measure the economic activities, and therefore you cannot easily manage. Now, the kind of soup that Bank of Ghana did with the police clearly is going to give the black market relocation. So they went to TikTok lane. Because you cannot identify them, they can disintegrate and still operate. If they come together to form a cluster, that is when you can easily identify them.
And which was also added to just say, and who be here, say Bank of Ghana near post for no one more just uncle for Yansa. One more you money in free almost no more just say, be a who draw one more in your sky a free, Young Kosher a honum na yancy a honomo quayan sanampo, it's me about black market no engine. So
for me, it's a dangerous market. You cannot easily identify them, therefore you cannot measure them, and as a result of that, you can't manage. So leave them alone. But then you must answer the question as to how does the dollar filter itself into the black market. If you're able to block it, it should be able to go a long way to help. If you are looking at the transmission of the dollar all the way to the market where individuals and businesses can transact, it comes from the Bank of Ghana, and then to the banking hall, and then to the forest bills. So if the line that makes, or the barrier that makes the dollar filter to the market, to the black market, is between the forest bills and then the black market, it must be looked at. If it's between the banks and the black market, it must be looked at. And I won't be surprised for someone to go to the banking hall to be told that, hey, look, if you go to this allergy, you can get a quantum of dollars that you want at the black market. So effectively, the fine thin line between where the dollar is concentrated, i.e., it could be the regulator, from the regulator level to the banking hall, and then to the forest bills, we must be able to block these channels. And that will be able to help, control the shipping of the dollar to the black market, rather than allowing it to go to the black market and chasing it where you cannot find this black market, you cannot identify them, you cannot measure them, who they are. They catch them at the TikTok lane or whatever the name is. The next time they won't come there anymore. They'll be on the different street doing their own thing.
One also not drink what abano no a year a dan no fear dan or tree year no a post for so it me as sonipa macon a junu back on 21 na one more a far coin bonnet so a whole no more far coin bonnet so it may be more a year mamma almost so mom a war a santimantimo a coco among I know a war a santimantin abram yet you one more yet one more air call a year police station or yen share sena you made no as if I call you.
I can see you, but when I'm waiting,
Honorable, we have a lot to look in now.
Mwetu bata abaye man mu a wo afa kwan pa so amfa ma no na post for no etimi aso omo eti hu niam ahodo bia na no wo ketegita post for no etimi agi edifi wo se yaro ho sem papa se ni pabonifo bia ebo ra o man mu a be bia ya wo kobo mhudwa asante mante ma beni dom nyina yetimi hu wo no nwanwa papa pa ye nto kase no so na eda no memeda dwumedie kase bi pa ekoso wo nkramponi mante mu enom Global Citizen Festival na no ehya se music festival fans no wo mutimi eteki action wo betimi ediesi ohia ne ahokyere anokwan na afidie no eba so wo man Ghana mu a amaya hoduo nkrofo mo bonyom pa wo mutunyom no wo munyina bepie mu wo ye man wandie pe ni kohwe nipa ba ye yie kasam enye asem ketwa na no na Ghana mampeni na nadodan kwakofo ado enkopie mu adwumedie na sene ho akwakohia se wono nso ebama ni speech na kwan ahodo a wo fa so ediesi ohia ne ahokyere anokwan ewo yemman mo na fensi ne futu ahodo a wo edima mebre no wotimi edi atodwa no abra Ghana mampeni na nadodan kwakofo ado eteki stage pepepa wo ba beka san die na amafo abo mu sem papa away papa mu chemu se senia hochiri wo man Ghana mu no wo mu pese mbeti hwi edi efri Ghana mampeni na nadodan kwakofo ado ho na ye se akwakwo yare ho sem ne ni wu sem papa enye asem kitwa yen kone kwhwese na nsem no esefa ekoye
Global citizens, fellow Africans, ladies and gentlemen, I extend a hearty akwaba, a word of welcome from a very hospitable people. All of you have come from afar and wide to our vibrant city of Accra, Ghana's capital, to join us. Who's enjoying themselves more? Us here or them in Central Park, New York? Who is enjoying themselves more? Here in Western School. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank
no jumedi ekoso won kramponi mantemu da no memeda na wotwe wie no ene etimi abomo ede amawo no yenjina wo mo nsem na no pe kase ye wodi ma no yemfeni nyina mfesi me da wasese wonya bre ene adaje na wo hwe XTV anopa no nsia kase memfa sida infama DJYX wono ene jina camera na chi ema me na sawokopi mu ewo MC a ho nso de twa metimu yellow abra Bismarck nso etan na chi executive producers no ene na drasa poma na fence no wo penin samitu ga me making kandema wo eyo papa Mavis akosua ateme sorry so magudie mo nsem de course na wotwe wie ye nyina no menu abema microphone ata Mr. Mwat why krado papa wode ebro etimo afide no enda he ya me do ase emommo enihwe